in that case, to kind of roll us back in, I'm going to start with Dave and Sean, and then we will resume back to the plague pits and see what situation Crow has gotten himself into. And then to kind of give a last bit of bookkeeping before we actually go, Dave, one thing I forgot to call out is that each day you want to stay in the Tomb of the Forgotten at that kind of lodgings you've already found, you will have to pay with a fish.
Okay.
Like, that's just something, like, you've earned that, but that's the cost of doing
Yeah.
business. So if you ever want to stay there, you can get a 5 shelter for the group. You just have to trade 1 fish to do so.
Okay. Cool.
And then another thing I want to push forward is you're going to get a little bit of information about the gold shirt probably, but I want you guys to know you are under no obligation to go do that. Like, that quest line and quest line in this story will just resolve whether or not you go and address them. Like, these people want this guy. They're not going to wait for you to go do it. So
Okay.
don't let me bully you into things. Just do whatever is right for your characters, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. In that case, we will start with you, Dave and Sean. You exit the Tomb of the Forgotten, having just discussed your future prospects with Nyx. Let me drag this in there. You're walked past rows and rows of soldiers, all of them attending their business, but none of them really paying much attention to you as you are finally let out into the morning air. And when you do, Rakote, you look across and you see Jordan resting very comfortably against the cane that you bartered with. And his left hand is a ledger, kind of just balancing it as he carefully passes his eyes over a cart full of silver trinkets and items. And we will resume there as all of you are let outside of the tomb.
Wonderful. I do feel like Nyx had given us something to stop and potentially talk to Jordan about, and I'm failing to recall what that is.
Yeah, Nyx had told you that in order for you, or in fact anyone, to get to the forge, you're going to have to find the missing gold shirt.
That's right. We need to
Jordan
find
is... Go ahead.
Botnik was his name.
Yep, Botnik.
Because we're trying to get into Vertrauen?
Yep, Vertrauen.
Okay, that's right.
Which is the holy city of the Forgotten. Kind of the last little bastion that you guys have... Basically, no one's really allowed access to currently.
Okay.
And Nyx was coordinating the search efforts, and it was said that if you were interested in looking for this missing gold shirt, you should talk to him.
Okay. So, I suppose on the way, actually, we're being escorted.
Yep.
So, I'll just ask about it up front before I confer with Sean about what we should do about that. So we'll stop on the way to Jordan, who is going over his ledger in silver, and Rakote will approach his counter. He's just counting. He's not like with anybody right now.
I'll kind of set the scene. As you walk up, you see that he is in fact talking with the people kind of manning the cart, and he will say, "Not a spot of rust. Good. And the poppy?" One of the attendants says, "I'll deliver it tomorrow. Herman's out surveying. Thinks there are other places that the poppy might grow." Well, that would be some good news. I'll be sure to let the lawbringer know. And then his eyes will kind of catch you in this periphery, and he will turn his attention towards you.
Yeah, Rakote will amble forward, and he'll say, "I appreciate the introduction to, was it General Nyx?
Yeah.
To General Nyx. He says you may have information on where my friend and I may find the gold shirt Botnik."
I'm glad to hear that you joined up with our merry band. I have a few ideas, yeah. We've been on this for a while now, but the gold shirts eluded us. Only a few places left to check.
Uh, he'll look optimistic at that, and he'll say, "And these few places would be."
He will consult the ledger, flip it a few times, and say, "Collection of catacombs, southeast of Partner's Plummet. Unfortunate for you, for us, it is home to the man-eaters. But I have had good authority that the missing gold shirt passed near there."
He'll glance to Rastavan, who I'm not going to call Rastavan this session at all, or I have to actually PayPal Sean $5 each time. And then he'll look back to you and he'll say, "The man-eaters. These are rats?"
No. There are people who found it a bit too troublesome to talk and figure things out the common way. They're highwaymen. Cannibals.
Yeah, he says, "Thank you for your time." And for the first time we see Rakote running. It's quite a sight as he keeps running. He gets to the coast and you think he's going to stop, but he does just get right in the water.
He flops like a Magikarp.
Yeah, he puts his hands at his sides and jumps like a salmon into the water. He will sort of just below his hat, his expression will sour, but he won't really lead on anything too disappointed. But he'll say, "Surely you have experience with these man-eaters. I imagine your men have encountered them. If we were to avoid them, are they paths they frequent, or particular times of day when they're more active?"
Yeah, he will think for a moment. I am going to have him create one advantage for you.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a know your time or know your spot kind of situation. We can come up with a better name for that. But he will just say, my advice, get there before noon. That's when they're out searching. Just make sure you're not the person that they find. Stick to the high ground. Don't take the main paths.
He'll kind of turn up the brim of his hat. And he'll say, "Very well."
Don't look so down. I'm not going to send you out on your own. Send you with two of our good soldiers to look after you. And he will kind of whistle. And a little bit further down near the gateway, you can see a fairly young man, maybe about 23, and an older woman take charge of the whistle and start approaching. The most kind of distinct thing is the younger man seems to have a lute or a stringed instrument draped around his back, and he just kind of has a little bit of a stumbling step against the measured one of the older woman on his side. Guitar and Emma, two of our best.
"That's kind of you." And he'll look to Rastavan and he'll say, "We best not keep our man-eater friends waiting."
Yeah, suppose not. Alright, guys, let's go then.
Okay. Jordan will regard both of you and say, "You're not the first men I've sent that direction. None of them have come back. If they are alive, there's every chance that they'd be willing to help you, provided you help them."
Rikote will nod to that, and he'll say, "Then for all of our sakes, hopefully we should find them alive."
He will just kind of nod. The few people manning the silver cart will start pushing it further into the tomb itself, and he will kind of watch it go, and then realizing that it is just you at this point, you, Rastavan and Rakote, he will say under his breath, "What Nyx told you is precious information. Make sure that no one hears about it. One word and you'll be locked in the stockade along the Charnel Way, I promise."
Of course.
My lips are sealed, quite literally.
And he will just kind of give a sharp smile at that, and then kind of lean back, giving it a little bit more of a friendly air. And then he will say, "Ah, Guitar, Emma, you are going to be accompanying these two men in the search for our missing gold shirt." And Emma, the older one, will say, "Which way is that?" "I'll let them catch you up." And he will kind of nod and then leave, seeming to follow the silver. And how this will work, Dave and Sean, is that, I guess more so Dave, both of these characters can add a +1 to whatever skill you choose. So I would say right now, choose a skill, and as long as they're in your employ, you can add +1 to that.
Oh.
So this is
okay.
the whole what's it called system? What was the word I was using? Kind of like the, not compatriots, like the higher system.
Oh, the retainers?
Retainers. So this is our first instance of retainers. And the way this works is that I will not attack them directly, but if you want to, you can also sacrifice them and they can take a hit in your place. They have 1 health. That is all they have. If they take 1 health, they're defeated, and you won't be able to use their benefits again.
Great.
And then it's just +1, and I would prefer 2 different abilities.
Yeah.
Just so you don't get a permanent +2. I think that's a little bit of a balancing act for you to think
Sure.
about. And with that, Guitar and Emma will have joined you, and you can fill them in as you will. And sorry, let me drag you back. And according to Jordan, your quarry will be southeast of the plummet. So down this way.
All right. Where Clinton's body's washed up.
Yeah, Clinton is not there. I put him there for me to remember, but I'm going to put him there. And at this point, many of the people in the Tomb of the Forgotten have kind of awoken and are tending to their business. You can tell that life is quick here in the early morning hour. But both Guitar and Emma seem content to follow wherever you lead.
Great.
Rastavan's gonna have a quick sidebar with Rakote, and he's just going to sort of mutter towards him. All right, so what we're doing here is we're trying to find a guy so we can deliver it back to these guys so that they can potentially grant us safe passage on a warpath to a city with a forge that maybe has something that could possibly get this mask off my face.
Rakote says, I believe that about sums it up, yes. Is my understanding we will not be going on the warpath. They have the soldiers. We are just trying to find this gold shirt botnik for them.
There's got to be a few steps we can cut out of this plan.
He's going to say, what did you have in mind?
Well, they're after this gold shirt, right?
Yes.
What if he's valuable to that specific enemy that they're after? The, oh God, what's the place called? Bertrowen.
You are suggesting we take Botnik to Bertrowen on our own?
Potentially. I'm not sure. It would be relying on the goodwill of yet another person, which I guess we can't guarantee. I just really want to get off this island and out of this mask.
Kote will kind of digest that, and he'll say, suppose word does travel fast. It wouldn't be impossible to see if we could get a lead on understanding his value.
Yeah, I guess we need to get him first.
He'll say, Guitar and Emma serve to be a problem, however, as they are loyal to the cathedral, to the tomb, he'll say.
Oh, well, you heard him, and not all of them seem to make it back.
He'll give that same sort of sickly, I guess, grin that he does when he sort of likes the way that an idea is brewing.
Drool inevitably falling out of his mouth. He can't help it.
Yeah, he really can't. One of his eyeballs falls out of its socket.
It's a napkin specifically for it. He keeps.
Yeah, it's happening again. Help! He'll kind of muse on that as the plan sort of starts to come together.
All right, sounds good. So in that case, you two will start heading in the prescribed direction, or are you gonna spend a bit more time in town?
Yeah, we'll just go where they said.
Yeah,
we need to go.
We'll go right to the cannibals.
Okay, right to their stomachs.
Yeah, no stealth check either. We're just gonna walk into the cannibal town.
Like how Clinton is just like a Sims NPC out in the water now. He's just in the ocean. He's just drowning this whole time.
Hajebo Dorkta.
You take the ladder out. He's gonna die out there.
Yeah. He's swimming back and forth in a horizontal line at 8 times speed.
You will just hear Guitar and Emma talking, and just real quick before we transfer over, Guitar will say, "Maybe a song to get us moving."
No, shut up. They immediately
and Emma will
interrupt him.
just say, yeah, definitely. Emma will just be like, "Not until I know where we're going." And she'll look to the two of you for a bit of direction.
I do want to real quick just convene with Sean. Do you have a preference on which skills we buff?
I don't. Whatever you want. You're the guy who runs people.
Okay. All right, I'll think about that then. And then, Kane, will this be specifically on my sheet, or we're splitting it up between mine and Sean's sheets?
I think it would be more so your sheet since you have contacts. Okay. That's the way this works. So yeah.
Okay, they're tied to contacts. All right,
yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. Okay. So you two, now 4 strong, will start heading in that direction. The sun just cresting over the water and kind of lighting your path forward as we cut back to the other group is in a much more dire situation. And the way this will work, do a little bit of explanation here. Declan, you succeeded on a stealth check last time, so I'm going to give you a full turn to do whatever you want before combat starts. The way this works is that in any area with an exclamation mark, you can roll investigate or notice. Positive roll will give you that many clues. Each location has 5 clues total. You need 10 to find the item you're looking for.
Okay.
Something else that you have to contend with in this zone is that every 2 turns, rats will spawn from these grates throughout the zone. There's just 1/1 rats, but enough of them start spawning, it could cause a bit of trouble for you. The Painted Lady. Pale Lady, you are currently up high above all of this. You cannot intervene directly with like rolls without entering the zone. That's just something to kind of keep this engaging.
Well, that's lame, Kane.
Sorry. you wanna fight, you gotta get in the pit.
I want to sing into the hole.
Nope.
And I should be allowed to do that. Safely. From
Has
my
bad
vantage
acoustics.
point.
Yeah, exactly. I should be able to do what I want. So that's about all the setup. So to get us rolling, and before I do turn order, Declan, what you gonna do?
Well, Crow is dauntless, so he is going to search this room.
Okay, challenge of 0. Nice.
Yahoo!
Yeah, pretty good fucking first turn. That is 3 out of the total 5 have been discovered here.
Okay.
And what?
I don't think I have an aspect.
Yeah, that would have been real nice to
I
clean
would
up all
speed run
5.
it, but I don't know if I can manage it.
Okay. Well, even with that, a 3 is a great start. As Crow, you start poring over all of this, paying careful consideration to Filth, who seems to kind of stalk, hearing a bit of a commotion despite your best efforts. It's kind of like moving about the space, and your hands come away empty. I'm just kind of pushing away bones and a few assorted goods. So that is your action. Do you have any movement or reactions you want to do? Or are you gonna stay here?
I forget what the list of
Yep.
bonus actions even is.
No worries. Reactions. I don't think anything's gonna help you right now. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. In that case, I'm going to add turn order. And I will start the battle music once we get that going. Yeah. It's a Great British Bake Off soundtrack. Where are you, Filth? Okay.
Well, Hollywood shook my hand. Me.
Notice is 2 for Filth.
Can't believe how proud I was of my athletics, only to remember that notice in a physical encounter was the determiner.
Unfortunate.
I was waiting for combat, I think, the first time, and I had that smile on my face, and then it was like, what's your notice? I was like, fuck!
Mac, what is your athletics?
It's a 2.
I'm gonna let the players go first in a second tie because you and Filth have the same athletics. All right. So we will begin with the Pale Lady. You sit high above your perch and hear the shifting of bones and just weight below you, but you do not see anything currently.
All right. So my thought is I want to go to a difference.
Okay.
Visually, because I know that there's kind of a jump here required.
Yep.
And also if I can just lure this thing away to make investigating easy. So, we noticed for all these entrances before.
Yep, you know where they're all at.
Okay, they're just available to us now?
Yep, they're all available.
All right. And I know that you told me this once before, but I want to clarify. Provoke is 1 zone, up to 1 zone?
Yep, range of 1.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go to this.
Okay, so you can start your turn there.
All right. What does this entrance look like comparatively?
This is actually one of the more secluded entrances. The main one was down here. It had kind of a vaulted gateway. You can see that this one is more probably a grave digger's entryway. This is a wide kind of chasm, or sorry, series of interconnecting tunnels. And you can see that this kind of pulls into the earth and leads directly into the tomb. You get to kind of skirt a few of the entrances, but in terms of appearance, a very stark mud hole in the ground.
Great. I'll use my slippery form to slide inside, and I'm allowed to move 1 zone for free, and then I can attempt to move another zone with athletics, correct?
So you would, if you want to move into another zone, you'd have to use your action to do so.
Okay, yes, I will do that then.
Okay. What you see in front of you is a kind of barred gate. You can see that it is very old and rusted, but it will still require a bit of an effort to push through. So it'd be a physique or burglary of 1.
Excellent. Really matters. Here we go. Great.
Okay. So currently, no, it'll lower the challenge by 1, so you're not just constantly stuck there. So next time the challenge will be 0 as your body just kind of presses against it and you can't quite push the door open just yet.
Seems to be more of a challenge than the Pale Lady realized it would be.
Yep.
Rusted in place.
Okay. And Mac, as you are kind of fussing with the door, um, you will see across the way, directly through the bars,
Oop.
a kind of very long, elongated figure with a white mask that just quickly goes from one side to the other, just kind of like dashing past you.
All right.
All right. Which is going to lead us into filth. The massive form of this beast, kind of sniffing in the air, will finally locate what it's been searching for this whole time. And its giant boiled face will turn towards you, Crow. And there will just be a guttural screech, a howl that issues from its mouth and echoes throughout this cavern as it rears up on its legs and charges at you. It has a fight of 4, so a challenge of 4.
Oh, come on, he couldn't start out that badly. I'd never dreamed.
Alright.
I can barely retrieve my hand from the bone pile before filth is upon me.
Yeah, definitely. As these kind of searching teeth kind of find a little bit of your skin or your coat, and it just kind of pushes itself and knocks all the bones into disparate directions. It is your turn as it tries to right itself.
What's the investigate challenge?
Still a 0.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Okay, so you have
Fucking hate you,
4
roll 20.
out of the 5.
I am going to clamber out of the way of what's left of its assault that I can, and
Okay.
open up some kind of like stone chest. But finding it very difficult, according to my dice, I will use just the rest to move out, really. So I believe I automatically have zone movement according to athletics.
You can move 3 zones currently.
Damn, where's the... Oh, there it is. Piss. Alright, let me do some math. Okay. I am gonna run... My aim is that.
Okay.
I see Ratcatcher Boy directly along my path.
You, in fact, don't.
Oh,
You do not see anything. You run through, and if anything, to your left, you can see the kind of faint form of the Pale Lady through steel bars, but you do not see the Ratcatcher.
then he searches what he can and then sprints from the room. As he gets further along in his stride, he kind of leans down and forward, almost as if surfing slightly, and there is that ethereal water splashing up around his boots that seems to only manifest for him before running out of momentum this turn and turning and seeing the Pale Lady through bars, giving that same inscrutable hyena-eyed look to you.
She'll have been looking in the direction that the strange figure ran, and then seeing you come back, assume that perhaps it was you, and kind of give you a confused fisheye.
And it'll be your turn, in fact, Pale Lady.
And I want to make another attempt at this gate here.
Challenge of 0.
Oh my
You're
god.
fucking kidding.
We're gonna die here.
So that was your first movement. You can try again if you use your action to unlock it. I will set the challenge at -1.
How can I keep? Good lord, that's two. All right, I'm gonna stubbornly do it. I want this door open. Oh my!
Wow. The door will fall, but you will not currently be able to transfer stones.
Yeah, me too, man.
Oh, buddy.
I think I'm gonna concede. Honestly, I
The
don't
pale
like
lady
my odds
lays
here.
down.
Gonna have a little nip. I forgot to say, conceding, you can do it at any time. If you do it in an area that is not marked by a door, you will have to suffer 2 damage that can only be absorbed through consequence slots. So just keep that in mind whenever, if you do want to concede, you should be at a doorway. Otherwise, you're possibly taking a pretty severe consequence, depending on what your stress boxes look like.
Okay, my rules dictated that I'm gonna take a pretty severe consequence. So.
Yeah.
Pale Lady struggles with this fucking door that is perhaps rusted pretty intensely, and given her physique and her mutated biology, it's kind of difficult for her to get a good grip on it before finally it manages to break, as she uses the last of her sort of force to break it open.
Okay. And it will fall to the ground, but you will barely hear the impact as filth moves throughout the cabin, just kind of pushing the dirt on either side of it and knocking whatever stands in its way. And kind of reaching this point here, it will howl out, kind of its bellow echoing off the walls, and it's going to try and create a provoke advantage against you, Declan. Challenge is a 2.
Okay. Crow, please pick it up for a roll.
All right.
Declan, I just rolled like a million physiques that were all negative. we're fucked.
That's not my problem.
It will be Howl of the Beast as it just kind of reverberates throughout your chest cavity. It is your turn.
I can move into here.
Yep.
Where he, feeling sufficient distance has been made, will begin to investigate. All right.
Nice. Okay. You are... Okay, you have 8 total clues currently.
Oh, now it's really killing me. I used to have something about being unrelenting.
Oh, yeah. You could have tapped for searching and investigation. Yeah, damn. But still, you've got a pretty good distance between you and Filth, and it seems like you're able to stay a step ahead currently.
Yeah, so he is, he watches the pale lady, like, do the equivalent of having to awkwardly wrench open a jar of peanut butter, and then it finally falls before him. He marks her down a couple points in the might category of a predator, and then he comes back into focus as the roar draws him to attention, snapping his head forward, which he then just immediately flies down this hallway.
All right. Pale Lady, your turn.
All right. Hey, Grub. My lord.
Yeah, she really can't make up what room she wants to be in.
I don't know what she wants. I don't understand what she wants. What is the deal with Filth's willpower here? Is it equal to attack power?
No. It has its own will stat. I have a stat block pulled up currently.
Okay, great. All right. It's got a 12 will, I'm sure. But
yeah. Some things are... I did design this, not to get too in the weeds. Some creatures are more susceptible to will damage, some are more susceptible to physical.
I totally believe it. I'm trying to... You said rats spawn every 2 cycles. Correct?
Yep. So, on Filth's turn, there will be some rats.
And if I were to move here... So is provoke like I would need to be here and I could provoke this thing? Okay.
Yep,
great.
exactly.
Let me just get my ducks in a row here. I don't really know that I want to create an advantage yet. Uh, yeah, I suppose for now, I'm going to try to distract it.
Okay.
uh,
For advantage or damage? What are we doing?
sorry, I'm going back and forth between two actions because possibly putting myself in harm's way could be really bad. Uh, I have one rat left.
Uh-huh.
Considering maybe using that to distract it, possibly. I don't know if that would do anything because it's. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
try to attack it for now. So I'm
Okay.
going to use music to try to perhaps get it to move back into this space.
Okay. So to scare it.
Yes.
Okay. Its will is 2. It is not going to heed that song. It is going to push forward. So go ahead and give me a roll. Okay.
Right.
So it's starting to chip away at it. It will take 1 damage currently.
So she will, following Crow, who took off down the hall, she's decided that she will try to distract the beast while presumably Crow finds what they're looking for. And so she lets out a really howling shriek that echoes off of the walls, staggering Filth for only a moment before Filth regains their composure.
Yeah, and Filth will almost answer in kind with its own howl, and from the bowels of the earth come the rats. Kind of dark and slick with mud and blood. They push it into the room, and you can hear their small chittering in between Filth's movements. And Filth is going to move into your zone, and he is going to launch a attack of 4 against you, Pale Lady.
Don't worry, we can still roll negative.
Okay. So you will take 3 as one paw pushes itself directly into your chest, almost cutting your song short. And one of his abilities is on a successful attack, he can move you 1 zone. So he's going to
cool.
knock you clean into this room over here.
She'll kind of catch herself with her flippers and hunch down in that same sort of animalistic way that she was the evening before.
Yeah. And kind of clicking its teeth together, you will see it starting to make movements towards you when a series of small daggers and bolts start littering the side and the back of this beast, causing some of its kind of green ichor to spill onto the floor, giving a really caustic smell. As the figure that you weren't sure you saw makes itself apparent and just kind of like bursts into the scene and starts engaging with Filth. And the way that's going to work is every turn he can attack, he's going to attack, and they're each going to trade 1 damage.
Okay.
So that was the rat catcher's turn. Crow.
I'm going to get the investigate out of the way.
Okay.
Try to wrap up
Count
the...
of 0. There it is.
Ah, you pieces. No, I mean, I'm 1 short, right?
No, any positive roll. I'm sorry. So I should have explained it. Any positive rolls above 0 gives you that many clues.
Yes, but I'm 1 short of 10, which would have completed it.
Oh, yeah, you were 1 short from up here. Yes, you
Great
currently have 9,
Piece of
unfortunately.
shit. Oh, and did I max out this room as well?
Yep.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's good. I hate you so much, Crow. Well, I guess I couldn't have succeeded any harder.
Yeah, no, it's honestly pretty good. So, Crow, you see this commotion. You see rats on either side of you kind of spilling out. Do you do anything else with your turn?
I have my movement, right?
Yep.
Shit. Well, it's not what I wanted, but I'm gonna have to take the path this way
Okay.
to get to the room with a remaining clue. I'm gonna have to run back through the action to get there in any short amount of time.
Okay. Give me one athletics roll against our fight defense against a 1 as you pass through these rats and they start biting at your heels.
You step on them.
Yeah, so a successful style against those
Yeah.
rats.
Crow checks his map. He kind of traces his fingers around the pathways and sees that one is too long, and then he looks up and sees Shadow Boy fighting the Rat King.
Yeah. You see a pale face kind of looming in the darkness, just kind of dancing as he does, trying to engage this creature.
And Coat flying behind him, he will leap, clearing the room full of rats in like a single bound, and landing in Filth space, will then immediately hook left and be running northward towards the remaining clue room.
Okay. Filth is going to see these 3. Let's see. 1d3. 1 is Declan, 2 is Ratcatcher, 3 is Mac. Okay.
Wow. Rude.
The song echoing through its head, it will realize that you are a threat as much as this Ratcatcher, and it will kind of focus the brunt of that on you as a 3 fight comes your way. Or sorry, 4 fight.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is gonna get dangerous quick.
Okay.
Thanks for stepping in.
You are welcome.
And you will see from the corners more kind of rats starting to find their way, their nose searching for their next meal. Yeah, right.
Is there any way to keep the pale lady alive through the filth encounter? Has anyone figured out how to do that? Like, I summon her, and she dies before he's at
And
half
Filth
health.
just won't leave her alone. Like, Filth gets so aggro.
It's
Yeah.
extremely common not to. It's kind of based on RNG, and like you can do stuff to heal her, but like there's nothing more to her quest after, even if you do. There's like a line.
So
of
there's not even a
dialogue.
fucking point to it?
No.
Oh, I've spent so much time.
Well, that's why they made it so hard.
Ugh.
So, Mac, this is a little fucked up. On a success, he's going to push you into this zone full of rats. You have a 1 fight coming your way.
Come
Should
on.
have eaten those rats.
Okay. They currently have a boost against you. As,
Rats.
you stumble and a few of them do kind of claw over you, and you have to knock them away with your webbed hand.
She'll knock him away and kind of hiss at him as they scatter. And she sort of collects herself.
Crow, you're up.
This is This is not what I expected for the character, but he is going to see that happen. See her get knocked into what he hears to be a room full of rats.
Yep.
With an apostrophe on the O. And he is going to stand there and then, with the slightest shake of his head, flip the bone spear upside down. And I would like to use bone spear to create the impaled advantage on Filth
Whoa.
the Defiler.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, yeah. Challenge of 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Yep. Create the boost on him of impaled. So what happens? The spear soars through.
Yes, it'll go away pretty quickly. This is like one of the first instances of a thing being a boost being slightly less than satisfactory, because I like to keep that aspect on. But
Yeah.
it will only be a boost. He hurls it through, and it's going to catch on something because it's quite a large beast. But it kind of looks like parts of it could come apart easy. So it's like hooked through a rib cage that's obviously going to pull out after enough tension.
A pustule that seems to be retaining just a bit of sturdity to it, but it will drain and leave your harpoon kind of on the ground.
Yeah.
As Pale Lady, you're confronted with all of that, but you hear a gut-wrenching roar as it kind of catches the harpoon on the side.
She will kind of alert at this. I had turn order collapse for some reason. Kane, we didn't talk about this yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about it now. I have medicine on my sheet.
Yep.
What do you feel about medicine in combat?
Oh, that's fine.
Great.
It's a skill, and you're using your action to do something. So when you could attack, go for it.
I would like to try to heal myself.
By eating a rat?
By eating a rat.
I like to imagine you have like tonics and quick stuff that you can
literally
apply.
gonna describe. You know those like colored glass orbs that like sailors always have with like the netting around them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's got a bunch of those like underneath her fin cloak, kind of dangling around her, and they've got little salves in them and whatnot that she's made over the years. So with a medicine of 3, is that 3 stress heals? Is that how we're happening?
It's one box, so you can use up to 3 and heal 1 box worth of 3.
Okay, great. That's what I assumed. So I'm gonna heal my 3 stress.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Exactly what you needed.
So after scattering the rats, she will rip one of these little bottles and slather some onto her hands and cover the fresh wound.
Okay. You still have your movement if you'd like to.
With an athletics of 2, do I get to move 2?
2 zones.
2 zones. Great. I'm gonna move. Man, I don't really want to go through rats. I don't really want to trap myself either. Very. I'm gonna go here, and I know that means
Rats!
Yeah, so okay. Success with
I'm
style.
prepared for the rats this time.
You both have a success with style on this rat. These rats, they are fucking cowering in their little boots that they wear.
On Tuesdays.
Yeah. But you maybe bring a webbed foot down on them and just kind of like send them scattering as you run into this zone.
She kind of moves a little bit like she's kind of graceful in her sort of sliding between the filth and the wall as she's able to maneuver back into the other room and scatter the rats.
Okay. You running underneath him, Filth is going to turn his attention towards you, but the rat catcher will send a bolt into its kind of like oozing eye, so it will instead attack him this turn.
No!
That means that was the rat catcher's athletics. That was. Oh, it only takes 1. Okay.
Crow is very misanthropic, but weirdly I am motivated to save people this campaign.
It's not bad, and the rat catcher will do the same. We'll send 1 health at it. As these kind of 2 figures seem to be kind of dancing in the dark, there's moments where you kind of lose sight of them, and then see just as quickly the flash of brand new brilliant silver in the rat catcher's hand kind of drag itself across Filth. Crow?
Crow is going to look over his shoulder again toward the clue room, but then just look back past this room of rats and into the fight, and he is going to bring the rope taut in his hand and take a running start and then pull himself run through the rats.
Yep. Okay. Success with style. Still have the boost on him.
Leap over them, yank his bone spear in to utilize the boost.
Okay.
And bring out two hooks in each hand.
So this is the first time anyone's fought this thing. It actually can't use its +4 fight to defend because of its scale. Its fight is actually only athletics, so it's a 2 athletics.
Oh, good news.
Good news.
Okay. I'm going to use one of its fate points to mitigate that, because that's how this game works. So you're going to do...
I'm a hero! No!
damage. So 6. Down to 6 health currently.
Crow will fly into it, drag the several hooks down its side, and then leave them in as he begins, like, climbing the thing for his next maneuver.
Okay. Pale lady.
I would like to try to provoke these rats into attacking Filth.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. If you succeed, I'll let them do 1 damage on their turn and be destroyed immediately. That's fine.
Go! My
Oh
minions.
fuck. Yeah, that's still success. They will kind of hear your song, and there'll be a moment where they seem to want to scatter. But they will think better of that, and in fact start climbing over Filth the Defiler, dealing 1 stress to him before being crushed in its maw.
Yes. Excellent.
All right. Filth's turn. It is going to go ahead and throw an attack at you, Declan.
What? Why?
So, why? What did I ever do to this thing? And yeah, go ahead and do that before I spawn everything. It's a fight of 4 coming at you. Okay. Boost currently. As it kind of like directs you around a corner, very carefully, kind of pincing its teeth, searching for you, and it kind of like gets you in a little bit of more inopportune space for you, as you realize just how close and how massive this creature is. And now the second thing of rats are going to spawn, because this is a hellscape.
It is called the Isle of Rats.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
We wanted this.
We got one thing. We got it in spades.
What's
let
your
me
main
tell ya.
export?
Okay, so let's go ahead and that would move. Pale lady, give me athletics or fight against a 1. Okay, success with style. Declan, give me a defense against a 1 fight. Okay, success with style. That's how this works.
That works for me.
Move, and I'm almost done here. Move and move. Okay. Ratcatcher will kind of press the advantage, seeing you have most of its ire right now, Crow, and he will kind of leap onto its back and slash at kind of the exposed rib cage of this thing, spilling meat and blood onto the floor. So currently has 4 health left. It's looking pretty rough. Crow.
I don't know how much it can do at once. I would like to create an athletics advantage. One obviously to give me the stat bonus, but also perhaps the flavor of it might alter his boost, because
Okay.
I want Crow to like wedge between Filth and the wall and like run up it and gain a vantage point, like climbing on some arch structure built into the wall, some support structure, basically to like run up the wall and get an overhead attack on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna try to impede, so like to block you, so it'd be a physique. It's gonna contest with physique, which is a 3. So there's your
Okay,
challenge.
sure. All right.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you, Crow.
Yeah. So you are able to find that perch you're looking for, and you can describe it as you kind of leap and find your way up to it.
Yeah, Filth is going to try to lean against the wall and squish me. Crow is quick enough to use that to scramble up, use it as like a counterweight, and run up the wall, grab onto some infrastructure on top, and hoist him atop the creature to put him in an advantageous position.
Okay. Other group, thank you for your patience. It seems like this might be wrapping up soon, and we'll get back to you shortly.
Take your time. All good.
Pale lady, you're up.
Rats.
We are the
We are
rats.
the rats. Here to celebrate
More
our birthday
rats.
bash.
Wow, I mean it's close, but yeah, you'll do another stress,
Excellent.
and they
This is
will
my favorite.
similarly be destroyed. I didn't expect this to be advantageous for you.
That's convenient for me.
Yeah. All right. Fuck.
She's not locked in there with them.
Yeah.
I like that they're filling up just these piles, these corpses of rats are filling up the room.
Definitely.
It's a bunch of pale rats whose souls she's sent to hell.
And yeah, even with your kind of your position, you're angling. The rat catcher doesn't seem the most tempting prize. It will angle its face upward. It's kind of like blind eyes searching for you, Crow, and it will leap, almost despite its size and weight, directly towards you, trying to take you and the arch down. So it's going to use its boost, so that's a 6.
Okay, I'll use my free invocation.
Okay.
Here first. No, of course.
Okay.
Let me... Yeah, mark that down.
It is actually going to use its fate point to try and do a bit more to you. As
Damn, Filth.
it will
You
be
nasty.
aspect blood hungry baron of the underlands.
Well, I'm going to use a fate point on my aspect. Height advantage.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Very nice. There will be a moment where it seems as if it were going to kind of take a part of you away with it, but the arch just completely falls away without you in it, and Filth is instead kind of hit by the debris as it wheels around and tries to find you. The rat catcher is going to do its damage and take its damage. Filth seems to be on uneven legs at this point. I'm just kind of spilling viscous green onto the ground around it.
Crow will release from the archstone and fall onto it, the bone spear pointed directly downward.
Okay. 1 stress, you are currently 1 away from killing this beast.
Okay, then I will. Fate point, height advantage, as it basically
Okay.
goes away since I've dropped.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Then describe to me with what it is the final blow is dealt to the first rat baron of the Isle of Rats.
As the
Of this
second
dungeon.
Rat Baron. Yeah.
As Smo crushes it and then gains its rat powers.
The rat catcher gets bigger and assumes Filth.
Yeah.
He had folded himself into like a crevice, which avoided narrow smashing by Filth. And then as the archstone comes down, so does he. And using this height and force, he plants his boots and uses the momentum to just shove the bone harpoon through one of its eyes, out another, and then down through the upper jaw into the lower. And then he wrenches to
Okay.
the side.
Yeah, perfect. And there'll be a kind of a sickening crack as the neck goes and the head along with it. And Crow, you pull away, and the massive weight of this creature just settles into the earth around you. And all around you, you see these kind of tiny chittering rats immediately start to scurry in opposite directions. As you, the rat catcher, and the pale lady are left standing over the corpse of this thing. And the rat catcher will be kind of breathing very heavily. You can see that whoever this person is, they've taken quite a bit of a beating during this entire encounter. Let me reveal them to you.
Ugh!
Um,
Oh, a foul-smelling man, huh? That's great.
he doesn't look great. Just to give you quite a bit of description quickly, like, part of you maybe even thought that he was kin to these rats, and getting a closer look at him, you can see why. Is his entire cape seems to be made from the kind of skinned face of a giant rat beast. It's just draped, and you can only imagine the scale of the rat that this thing was carved away from. As a kind of breathing, he will say, "So long as he was alive, I could never be king. Thank you."
Of the rats.
Oh good, he's crazy.
Crow has mixed feelings about claiming such a position when your victory was aided. But my quarrel is not with this new boy king. So I think as opposed to the respect he was developing for what he considered to be a boy using knives in these rat caves, he discovers to be a man in a mask seeking fiefdom over rats. And that'll really equalize out in the middle, and Crow will just sort of flit his eyes up and down this creature and turn and start walking away.
Do you want it? The throne, that is.
Get out of there, Crow.
He pauses, not having expected the creature to know words, and he'll lean back in and say, "Meaningless."
It'll be kind of like a cackling laughter as he returns to look at the corpse, and he will say over his shoulder, "Well, he'll make a fine trophy all the same. I'll make sure it's cut just right." And he will see as this kind of masked figure will start kind of cutting into the flesh of this larger one. Just the gleaming silver becoming duller and duller as the blood starts to stain it.
I think Crow won't help himself, as he'll stand. He's like about to leave, but he just observes this and says, "Crown doth not ascribe death meaning."
Why do I care about death? Living is good. And the strong live. Strong always live.
Crow's head inclines a degree, and he says, "Aye."
He will just kind of nod to you, still a little bit frantically, but agreeing with his own assertion as if you had said it.
Having made his first friend, he'll leave.
The pale lady, listening from her vantage, but ultimately waiting for Crow, will kind of watch the shadow of the rat catcher carving away the carcass, and she will turn to Crow and say, "Have we found what we came for?"
"Nay, nearly."
She will nod and follow you.
There are no more challenges at this point. Like during combat, you don't have to roll to investigate. You can spend your time doing so. It's one. You're very close.
Yeah, he moves into the remaining room that he was aiming for before philanthropy got the better of him, and probably turns over like one thing to locate his final clue.
Yeah, exactly. And the kind of thing we'll end on before we see the other group is a sarcophagus that you didn't really have the time to pay attention to, but looking into it, you see Gurki, the name you were told to look for, and kind of a heavy stone slate resting over it. And we can play this out. There's still stuff. Like, do you press it open?
Yes. Are you doing like, I can't tell if this is a mic thing or what. Are you doing a shit ton of clicking every time you're speaking on your mouse?
Oh, I am using my mouse just to like navigate. Let me move it. I'm gonna put it on the opposite side and see if this helps.
Okay.
We'll see.
He jams his bone spear into whatever crevice there is in the opening and starts to crowbar it open.
Ha.
Okay. Jesus
Shut up.
Christ, man. Yeah.
That's great.
And when you do, you are not greeted with a body, but a simple, what looks to be cloth pouch, just sitting in the center of the crypt itself. No bigger than maybe 6 inches on either side.
Can I use tailoring to evaluate it?
The cloth? Yeah, of course. I set the challenge at a 0.
Don't I can roll negative. Okay, thank God.
Okay. You can tell that this cloth, though kind of unassuming in its appearance, is actually expertly made. Um, you would estimate that this thing is easily 200 years old, but despite all that, it seems to be in incredibly good condition, whether that's being sealed in the tomb or the craftsmanship itself. And kind of turning it over, you can see that there is the sigil of the sun, a mark of the Forgotten King.
She will denote this, kind of carefully looking at it, and she'll say, "This is from my time. It bears the king's seal, though now forgotten."
Crow, looking from the pouch he's holding to her, says, "This describes all kings."
I don't really have the empathy to check that, but she will. So it's just a bag.
Yeah,
Presumably
it's
there might
currently
be something inside of
drawstring.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of weight inside of it.
Then I would like to carefully open it.
It's mine. It's mine. You can't
No.
have it.
I'm just looking at it. We fight.
Look with
over
your
it
eyes, not with your
immediately.
hands. Crow holds it away from you.
Yeah, currently it stays closed in Crow's hand.
She will have kind of made a gesture for it as Crow pulls it away, and she'll say, "Do you not wish to see the treasure inside?"
Nay.
"Why not?"
Doesn't matter. Objective is to get it back.
"Yes. But are you not curious?"
Nay.
She'll observe you with her kind of reflective eyes, and then she'll say, "Very well. We will leave this island soon."
All right. And that will be kind of the shot is Crow's kind of definitive clutch of the bag does not give way to your interest. And we will cut back to the other group.